Hello everyone, my name is Nagesh. I'm the co-owner and key business strategist at Eduli, and today we are doing this session about the complete job analysis of the UK market and how you can maximize your chances to get placed in the UK. We get asked this question a lot of times: will I get placed if I study in this university? Will I get placed if I study in that university? However, a whole lot of part does not depend on the institutions that you go and travel with. It's based on the skills and the values that you create for yourself and for the companies that you look for. So that's what define your placement status instead of the institutions that you go with. Because I remember in 2012, there was a guy from Chennai. He went on to study to London School of Economics. He took 55 lakh rupees loan. And within just 1 year, he had to leave everything and come back. He couldn't manage to get a job in the UK, and then he was paying all the EMIs back home. So I can very confidently say that it's not about institutions that you go with. Even if you go with Cambridge, Oxford, or with any big institutions in the UK or anywhere around the world, it's you as a person who has to create values and skills. So that's very important. So we'll be discussing about the ways and possibilities and the limitations of the UK market to understand the strategic positions of the market and what you should do and what you should not do in order to get placed. So before we get started, let's take a look at the agenda of today's presentation. So we'll be talking about some of the biggest fears international students have, limitations of the UK market, some key statistics to understand the labor market, the possibilities out there for international students, some of the most common mistakes the students do, and how do you maximize your chances to get placed easily. So let's take a look at, most of the time we get asked questions about studies being expensive in the UK, return over investments, and the education credibility, because the UK degrees traditionally, postgraduate degrees are just 1 year, while they are 2 years back in India and in US, Australia and Canada. So a lot of people also ask that whether these degrees are credible. But out of everything, the biggest fear for most international students is not seeing or not finding enough opportunities to get placed once they graduate. So in today's sessions, we'll be talking a lot about the fear of not getting placed and how you can build connections. Let's in the first place talk about the limitations of the UK market. There are of course limitations of every market, and we should not cite them because it's important to understand what is there and what's not there in order to progress when you go as an international student, because you don't always look for the positive sides. You also need to look at the negative sides of the market to precisely understand what you are going to do and how you're going to do. So in the first place, the geographical size, the global competitions, poor mobilizations, and most of the things are under the government control. Let's discuss them in detail now. The geographical size of the UK is very small. The UK is pretty much equal to some of the largest Indian states. It's like 13 times smaller than the UK and 40 times smaller than the USA, which is very small, which makes the resources limited, and that makes it difficult for international students to find opportunities. There is a global competition in the UK. It's not that the students from India or a particular territory are going and studying. There are students from 150 different countries traveling at one place to study, and they are all trading for jobs with an equal vision to find employment opportunities once they graduate. So the competitions of finding placements is very high. For every single post, a lot of people will be trading, so which makes the task a lot difficult. However, there can be some competitive advantages which you can make as an international student and can leverage and can pass on a lot of competition. There is a poor mobilization, of course, because UK is a developed nation. The infrastructure, the businesses, the services, most of them are fixed. Unlike we see in India, there are a lot of things that are happening. The new infrastructure is coming, the healthcare infrastructure is getting better, the services and the businesses are, so there's so much happening, and so much of development is yet to happen. While in the countries like UK, most of the things are fixed, which does not create a lot of opportunities on the go. So not so much of investment happening, not so much of foreign direct investments are coming, which makes the jobs opportunities limited. I mean, it does not create a lot of jobs like India. Most of the things are in the government control. The government owns and controls everything that you do in the UK. Unlike countries like Dubai, where it's between you and the employer. If an employer is happy to take you, it's absolutely fine. The government will straight away give visas, and they do not interfere with whether there are better people available in Dubai or things like this. While in the UK, there are only few companies which are licensed by the government in order to recruit international students, and you need to find a job only with those licensed sponsors in order to apply for further skilled worker visa. It can't just be any company in the UK. That's one thing. However, even once you get a sponsorship from the UK employer, you still need to apply a visa, and the government will see whether there aren't any people available who are better than you. A whole lot of those factors play a key role in getting things sorted. So a lot of things are basically under government's control, which makes the task a little difficult for international students to settle. So here are some statistics to help you understand your possibilities as an international student. So a UK-based agency did this survey about including 16,199 international students, and the outcomes were like 1 out of every 4 students are staying back, which is of course makes the task difficult for about 75% of all the graduates or students who are going to the UK are returning back or engaging in some other sort of work. So that's the kind of hard part. 1 out of every 6 student is moving to a different country once they graduate in the UK, maybe for higher education or research, or maybe for jobs in European countries or some other countries. 3 out of every 5 are returning to their home countries. So they're coming back here to their own countries, and either they're studying further or being employed. So this is what you can expect when you go as an international student. So around 75% of the people who go out of everything need to come back. Now let's talk about the possibilities available for you as an international student. At this point of time, number one, we can see that the Brexit has proved to be really beneficial for international students, though it created a lot of damage in the UK's economy. The government is revising the policies and making it a lot favorable for international students. And then there are multiple different visa schemes being given to retain as many graduates as possible in the UK. So we'll discuss everything in detail. Now, in the first place, let's understand what Brexit was. Brexit was one of the biggest political events happened in the UK's history. The UK has decided to leave 47 years old European Union membership. There are a variety of the different reasons why Brexit happened. One of them was an immigration because of the free movement between the European Union member countries. People from all those European Union countries could come and go into the UK for travel, for tourism, for businesses, or for jobs, which made it difficult for the British nationals to take control of their own resources. The sovereignty was another reason. The UK was not able to make their own decisions in terms of businesses, in terms of investment, political and other events that were happening. So, which was also one of the reasons why they decided to leave European Unions. And then, of course, the policy decisions were not in their hand. So they better decided to leave and move on so that they can take care of everything and can control and own everything. Now let's discuss how Brexit has proved to be beneficial for international students. Number one, Brexit has reduced a lot of competition for international students. In the first place, the European Union students have lost the home fees status, which resulting the less number of students coming to the UK to study because of affordability. The tuition fee for European Union students is now 3 times higher than it used to be previously, so which will reduce the number of students come to the UK every year, which is really good for international students because the competitions will be less. Furthermore, after Brexit, from 1st of January this year, the government has given equal rights for international students. Before, it was like European Union would give first preference after the British nationals and then the international students. However, now The equal rights for both European Union and international students have been given, which means that a lot of competition will be off. The dynamics of the UK market have changed drastically in the past 2 years because of Brexit. A lot of businesses have come in and a lot of businesses have moved out as well, which has created some movement in the market, which is making it a lot easier for international students to trade and figure out their employment possibilities. And the situation is likely to be same for the next 5 years. So this, I believe, is a really good transition which the students can take leverage in the next 5 years. And Brexit is one of the primary reasons why the government is becoming flexible. Right after the Brexit decision was made, 2 years post-study work permit was introduced. Many things have changed in the UK for international students, particularly this equal rights thing and the point-based immigrations, and there's a lot of other visas like global talent and research things have been introduced, which is making it a lot flexible for international students, which straight away means that the government is planning to retain some qualified students back home to smoothly run their economy. Now let's take a look at some of the inspiring numbers and statistics to understand the job market. What happens to all the students who are going in the UK and how many of them are actually getting placed. So this is an article published by Live Mint in the year 2019 based on their interview with the Home Office. So around 37,540 Indian international students joined in the UK in the year 2019. And in the same year, around 57,199 skilled worker visas, which is essentially Tier 2 visas, were granted to only Indian employees. In a way, this might not be so precise to tell that 37 went and 57 got job. This number also includes intra-company transfer and a lot of people who are applying directly for the jobs in the UK based on their skills. However, this is in a way to understand that the possibilities are there. Skilled worker visas number is a lot higher, which means that there are a lot of possibilities, and if somebody is a genuine and owns values and skills in a right way, can offer something really good to the employers, then there are tremendous opportunities and possibilities to settle down and make things up. There are varieties of different visas the international students can apply once they graduate in the UK. It's not just that you have to always go with skilled worker visa or a different visas or a job visas to extend your stay in the UK. There are varieties of different ways, and you should always keep an eye on which options you've got. In the first place, of course, this 2 years post-study work permit. So once you graduate, you can apply for this 2 years stay, and within this 2 years stay you need to apply either skilled worker visa in order to extend your stay further if you get a job with a licensed sponsor in the UK. In case, however, if you have any idea or a unique strategy to start a business in the UK, you can also apply for a startup visa, which is given for 2 years. Can be after post-study work permit or even before as well. And then there are other visas like global talent. There are sector-specific schemes. There are tier 1 investor visa, extending tier 4 visa, which means that you can apply, enroll into a higher program in the UK to extend your stay. There are long-term relationships or family visas, which means that if you are in relationship or long-term relationship with the British nationals, you can extend your stay or can even get citizenship based on that. However, they all come with different rules and regulations that are part of it. But in a way, just to understand that there are possibilities, there are different ways, not just that you have to go get placed to extend your stay. There are different visas to extend your stay in the UK, which is why a lot of people are able to stay back once they graduate in the UK. Now let's discuss about some of the most common mistakes international students do, which should be avoided in order to maximize your chances. Number one, not knowing before arriving. A lot of people have no idea about how the job market, the limitations, the scope, possibilities, some statistics, some research, and what to look for and where. Whether it's limitations or scope or possibilities, it's always good to know before you arrive there, because I've seen a lot of people complaining, it was all good when I traveled, but all of a sudden I realized that there is nothing happening, there's no jobs, there's no employer, partialities and all that stuff. It's basically everywhere. And you should know this, that it's not there or it's there, and what exactly you're going to expect when you go and arrive there as an international student. So that's the first responsibility you own when you plan your studies in the UK, to do the complete market research and to understand exactly what you can expect when you travel. Also, most of the time, a lot of people are picking up a program based on the possibilities or job opportunities related to a particular program. For instance, a lot of people come to me and say, supply chain management has got a lot of jobs in the UK, so I want to apply for that. But coming from a bachelor's in arts, if you apply in supply chain management, you're ultimately doomed. You should not look for which particular field has got jobs. Rather, whichever field you are in, make sure that you have the best skills and capabilities to persuade the employers in the UK. And that's how you create values. It's not like, let's say the medicine has a lot of scope and you're coming from a mechanical engineering background. Well, you take a medicines just that there are a lot of scopes. But if you take a one-year postgraduate program, and you're ultimately doomed, because the people coming from the similar background, they'll take over very easily. So that kind of transition is very risky. You shouldn't do, and anybody shouldn't do that. You should make sure that any program that you're picking is relevant to the progression, and you are taking a well-informed and strategic move. Not knowing the employer's expectations is another reasons why a lot of students fail. One of the easiest way to know this is to do the research. List out the companies that you are planning to work with and the possible roles that you are hunting for, and check their job descriptions. By reading the job descriptions, you precisely understand the employer's expectations from a candidate when they are having job openings. So by reading those job descriptions, you can precisely align yourself to and possibly can build your skill set in that particular directions, or maybe your interpersonal skills or anything that they require for that matter. And that can help you to actually build yourself in a very right direction. And then it will be a lot easier for you when you go and look for jobs. A lot of students have no clear things in mind what they actually wanted to do and how they wanted to do. So that's also one of the biggest reasons why students fail. Also, another reason is when you go as an international student to the UK, it's not just that you have to stick to the UK alone. You should always extend your wings and see what possibilities you have got around. There are countries, the UK is very close to the entire European Union members like Germany, Spain, Netherlands and all that. And you should always leverage this opportunity of going and meeting and speaking to the employer and possibly sending them out your emails or resumes, or possibly hunting for the job agencies in these countries who can possibly help you in your job search. So that's one of the strategies. If you just restrict to the UK is a country where you're going for your education. Of course, you should look around whatever possibilities, but there is no harm in extending and seeing possibilities around in other countries as well, because the UK doesn't restrict you to go to and apply to other countries. A lot of people are going out to different countries for the internship and for jobs and for interviews. So that's the kind of things that you need to look for. If you just restrict to the UK, it is always going to be challenging because of the global competitions. Now let's finally discuss about a few points that you need to be keeping in mind to maximize your chances and what you can do substantially when you go as an international student. Now, in the first place, look for the skill shortage occupations. Skill shortage occupations are the very few occupations in the UK which are high in demand jobs. So by having a list of them, or possibly by understanding them as a whole, can help you understand. And if you align yourself to the skill shortage, it will be a lot easier. At least this will cut your competition to 50% if you are into skill shortage occupation. So that's one of the things that you need to plan. Also, list the companies of your industry. As I mentioned before, in the UK, you can only work with the companies in order to get sponsored and apply further in immigrations and all that. You can only work with the companies which are licensed by the UK government. So you need to make a list of all those companies. You can easily find them up on the UKVI website, list of tier 2 sponsors. These are the only companies that you can work with. Out of that, make a list of the companies of your particular industry, maybe Deloitte or KPMG or TCS. Make a list of the companies you possibly think can work with based on the skills, based on the sector or the industry you come from. Making a list of those companies, you will have an idea about where and what you need to be doing. So by having a list of all those companies can help you narrow down your strategy and to not waste time looking here and there and beating about the bush. This can actually help you focus on the companies, which can make your task a lot easier. The best thing that you can do is, when you plan, is reverse your research. As I mentioned before, it's always good to go and find companies that you want to work with and pick up the jobs that you want to take up and read out the job descriptions and align yourself towards those job descriptions that can help you to position yourself in a very strong way and to build those skills independently or with the university help. And one of the best things that I can tell you about maximizing your chances is to build connections as much as you can. So if you are not making enough networking in the UK as an international student, you are bound to fail. You need to go volunteer as much as possible in different societies, because volunteering help you get to people. Get the list of all job agencies around in the UK. There are hundreds and thousands of different job agencies which are working. They can help you to connect to the right employees. They know when job openings are coming, so they know a lot better than you. So building connections with them can help you to reach to your employers in a very easy way. Take a list of all the employees who graduated from your course and from your university and send them an email invitations or possibly LinkedIn invitations to let them know that you're studying and pursuing this program. There's no harm in introducing yourself and sending a copy of your resume that can help you get to people in a very easy way. Take a subscription of the LinkedIn Premium right from the beginning and start sending and start building your connections, because LinkedIn is a very premium tool and a very effective tool. Most of the people hang around on LinkedIn, the decision makers, the company owners, the human resource managers. So this is the best place to be at when you do your job hunting thing. So make sure that you have premium and you're networking rightly. And yes, of course, as I said before, do not limit yourself to just the UK. Go explore to anywhere, USA, UK, Canada. The place you're studying can be the UK, but the place you can work need not to be UK. So make sure that you extend and research wherever and however is possible, and that will really help you hit the bullseye. Finally, if you've got any questions or you want to know anything about it further, you can reach me on the given contact details, or you can possibly comment below this video. We'll try to reach you as soon as possible. Till then, take care, bye bye, have a good day.